Hey, Noise, what are you doing? I know what we're doing. We got a barrel mast to finish. But before that, let's take care of some business real quick. Oh, sort of business. Just get this out of the way in the beginning. Get it over with. Come on, people. We took all this time to make this video for you. Least you could do is hit the like button. Get it over with. It's easy. It doesn't cost you nothing. See? Told you. Anyway, real quick, I want to give a quick shout out to one of our fellow Alaska YouTubers out there, Alaska Last Frontier Cabin.
This is about the only one I can avoid. But I thought I could make it through.
Our friend Bill's got a place about an hour north of us. He's working on it. He grew some taters this year. He's got some raspberries going. He's got a cool little cabin out there. Check him out. I highly recommend it. He's good people. Link for his channel down the bottom. All right, let's get on with it. Let's finish building something.
Ready? Yeah, dude.
All right, we're back and we're outside here. We got the door off. We wanted to get a nice coat of black paint on it. So we sanded all the rusty spots off. And what we used for the door is this Rust-Oleum high heat 2000 degrees. Which that door gets 2000 degrees. It's gonna be hot. So what do we got to do now? We got a couple spots on here we got to get a little more paint off of. Because we got to put some high temperature paint on this if it's going to look pretty. And that stuff will burn off, so. Oh, other thing we did, we got our hole in the back. Hole in the back for our chimney. It's going to elbow up and then go out from there, so. Alright, I got to get the wire wheel out, do some more cleaning up here, and we'll get back to you here. Probably either right before or right after we start painting. Okay, before I get too carried away painting, I went through here and I did some relief cuts on this lip because I got to bend this over. And if you bend this over without putting any relief cuts in there, there's not enough room for this metal to do that, and it gets all wonky. So I cut a notch in between each one. I'm going to bend these over and then clean it off, and now we're ready for paint, huh? All right, there we go. Flanger's all bent down. Give this thing a good wipe down. Make sure there's no moisture on it. Let's break out the high temp paint. What color do you think we're going to paint it? Take a guess. All right, what are we going to use? What are we going to use? We're using this VHT, high temperature engine enamel, 550 degrees. Now all we got to do, shake this up really good, and voila! Look at that, we even got one leg on it. That's a pretty decent coat. We got to do a few more things to it, so I'll put a top final coat on it after we're done. But yeah, looking good. Put the other leg on it, flip her over. Now it's time to put the firebox in. All right, Nomies, we got to come up. Let me turn that generator off. Stand by. Okay, where was we? All right, we got to be able to fasten the top on here. And I've been looking around for some scrap because I didn't want to go buy anything. because I hate buying stuff when we got stuff freaking laying around everywhere. So I found some L. What I decided gonna do is I'm gonna put one piece here, one piece across the back there, and make sure they are parallel with each other and nice and flat. And then when I put the top on here, I can run some holes down through here and down through there, tap them, and screw the top right to these big old L's. And then it'll get screwed through there, and then we'll do something with the back. And that'll be nice and secure in a nice flat spot. We can run some, what do they call that? Gasket. Yeah, gasket stuff. That's the ticket. Okay, we got our centered, and our L clamped. We gotta have remember I talked about having our space there. So I'll pretend this is a brick. Our bricks are gonna come up to there. And then we're gonna have that gap in there so we can stuff our mass down in. Now we're gonna pre-drill these, put some screws in them, because that's nice and flat. And then once we got that established, we can do our one in the back. Uh-huh. Uh-huh. Love it when a plan comes together. Alright, well I was putting the back piece on here, trying to get it lined up nice and flat, and I'm wondering why it's all cattywampus. Well, can you see why? Can you see why it's cattywampus? Yeah, the screw's giving us issues without a tissue. We can fix that though. Alright, problem solved. Look across here. That's nice and flat. Almost. You can almost see it. It's nice and flat. Anyway, you gotta trust me. It is. Alright, let's bring the plate up here. Oh, actually, first, I better screw this in. Uh-huh. Okay, we got our topper dopper on there. We got it marked on the front where we want to drill down, because we're going to run bolts. Nuts and bolts all the way through, because there's that. Remember? We put that piece in there. Alright, there we go. We got our top fastened down in 4 locations. It ain't going nowhere. Our firebox is going to come in here and go right up to the top there, and then there's going to be a gasket all the way around. So I have a bit of a cooktop and some mass all the way in through here. So, all right, this portion is about wrapped up. Now it's time to go build our firebox. Start packing this thing full of clay, sand, cob, whatever you want to call it. Mass. Okay, Nomers, we're back here in the shop, and we got the top back off. We are going to have to put another top coat of paint on this, but I wanted to get some protection on there so it didn't rust in all this humidity. And hopefully, we got well, it sort of quit, but we had a rainforest in here. Condensation, propane, open flame, yuck. Anyway, where were we? What we're doing? I want to make sure I establish my line where these bricks are going, because what we're going to do is we're going to put a bed of clay in here first. We're going to lay this down flat. We're going to put a bed of clay in here first so we can set our bottom row on, and then we're going to start building up. And as we build up, we're going to fill stuff, clay and sand, make our mass. And then we got a hole back here. We'll put our pipe in, and we'll work around all that. So that's what we're doing next. I got them in there. Like I said, I'll establish my line, get my lines going up this way. That way we know where we got to be for flatness on their bottoms. All right, Nolies, what I done did was I set this in here 14 3/4. 14 3/4, because that's our flush. That's our known. That's what we want it all to be at. That one there and that one there. So 14 3/4. Mark a line. Then you flip it over. Do the same on the back. Connect the two together. Woohoo! And we made ourselves a little screed board. So as we're putting the clay in there, we can go along here. Make sure it's all nice and flat. The way we want it. That'll work. All right, let's take all this inside because it's warmer in there. Start mixing up some sand and mixing up some clay. Get her done. All right, we moved inside next here to the Dicky-Doo stove. And we're mixing up our cob mix here, which is 2 parts all-purpose sand or masonry sand, whichever you can find. Do not use play sand. Play sand is round and smooth and nice for playing in. You want rough edges for gathering and collecting and holding together. That's why I use mason sand or an all-purpose sand. So, that's what they're doing here. And then they're just putting enough water in here so it comes together clumpy. And then they're going to set it in here and make a nice bed of clay and sand. Just up to the line, boys. Just the line, boys. You see the line, boys?
The white line?
The white line. There's a song. White lines going through my mind. You're too young for that song. Holy crap.
Might have been done in the 70s.
Oh, yeah. All right. Well, we got their bed in there. Gonna go across and screed it, make it nice and flat. Ain't that party? We'll let this set up overnight so it's nice and stable for when we put our bricks on in the morning. Good job, Ted. Alright. Boys got this nice and flat and level. Flat with the top between there and there. And the back is just going to be the clay mixture for the back. So what I got to do is I got to mark where the stove hole goes through, because I want it to sit inside this plywood so we can pack around it and leave this in here and then build the bricks up. We're going to put some more of these in here to support it so it doesn't move while we pack the clay all the way around and build it up and up and up and up and up and up. Then we'll be ready to put the top on and fire it up. All right, there we go. We got our hole in it. We got to cut it to height. Put a line on there. I'm gonna pull that out and do that. We got to make another one for the front. What this is gonna do is gonna give us our spacing, so when we jam our cob and stuff down here around the side, it doesn't push our blocks in. And this is going to be our form for the back. The back's going to be cob rather than fire bricks, because we don't want to have to try and cut fire bricks around that kind of crap right there. Well, we're lighting our first fire in it. We can dry it out a little bit. We don't want it to fall apart. Everything should be golden after this. We'll put our top in and take it over to Danny's tent and hook it up. Darn wind. Alright, we got our last coat of paint on this thing. We got it burned in here all nice and dry. We got our gasket around the top here. So before we move it again, because the sides are a little loose, we want to put our top on, get it all secure. And then we're going to do a test fire on this thing. We got straps underneath it because we don't want to crush the stove. We just want to lift it. And it's freaking, what is it, about 250 pounds, boys?
I said that before the plates was probably at 300.
Yeah, it's probably about 310 now. You alright, man?
Yeah.
Ah, you got it. You got it. Alright. Sorry for the generator noise. Top on. Got the door on. Got it all nice and sealed in there so it ain't going to leak. Now we're going to do a test burn. See how this baby holds up. See if we can do this in the wind.
There we go. Vent open. Start clearing. That wind should help. Oh yeah. Keep going. Start to smoke. Looking good. You better take this off now.
Got a nice ripper going in here. get this going, make sure all the paint fumes come off of it. And tomorrow, we're ready to set it up in Danny's place. We'll be getting rid of that propane and heating this real heat. Wood stoves. That's the way we roll. Alright guys, we got her all installed. We got an old hood back there to keep his tent from melting from the heat. This thing came with a silicone ring for a stove jack, so
We thought it was.
that worked pretty good. And at least we ordered the right size too. So here it is, cooking away. Look inside here. See what it looks like. So Danny, it was 8 degrees this morning when you woke up.
And my lighter was in my pocket because I thought ahead. So
There you go. Lighters don't work in the cold, so
you gotta sleep with that, and then it was just a little bit of a
yeah.
brush. I don't need kindling because I have that brush to the left of it.
Yeah.
'Cause I was smart. And I took a bunch of that from dead trees and stick some cardboard underneath it. And
See what, yeah, works real. Starts right up once them bricks are hot or warm in there. So we got our mass gathering heat. You said the mass has been getting hotter. It just takes what, about 2 or 3 hours. So
should be in the next hour. It should be warm.
yeah, so he just got it fired up for today, for this afternoon. It's this evening anyway. So
I was recovering from my
it's warming up.
severe burns.
Uh-oh. He learned top of stove. Hot. It burns. So right now it cooking along. It's about 500 degrees. So yeah, that'll burn your fingers.
It's not a great smell.
But anyway, it's working. And Danny's going to be warm this winter. So
Yay.
there you go. All right, out here, we got our guide wires for our chimney, and it's a nice, clean, burning stove. Looking good in the Nomi hood. Well, Nomies, that was a heck of a fun build we did there, huh? The very first I've ever seen barrel mass heater. So Danny's going to be nice and warm this winter. This is a great project for a tiny house, for a tent stove. It's a bit heavy, but that's the point. You want to get that mass heated up so it radiates heat, rather than just having thin metal radiating blasts of heat, and then when the fire goes out, the heat goes away like that. You made it this far? Why don't you go down there? Right down there. Hit that subscribe button for us. That way you can see other projects coming up. Because we got a big one to finish up. And that's next week. We're finishing a TP, baby! We're going to get that thing put up. And then our very next stove project, rocket mass for that TP, baby! Oh, yeah! Thanks for coming along. See you next time.
I'm a Nomi, he's a Nomi, she's a Nomi, you're a Nomi, wouldn't you like to be a Nomi? Click the subscribe down on the bottom, click the like button down on the bottom, or make a comment down on the bottom. Peace out.